to Hunter Tuned. Today we're working on something a little bit different because I'm still waiting on some parts for my hatch, and can't really do anything with it until I get the parts for the car. I got some stuff ordered for the B20 already. I actually went with an ACL orbital pump and some other goodies that are coming for it, so stay tuned for those videos. But in the meantime, instead of not putting any videos out, I figured I would just put out videos of whatever I'm doing, which in this case is I'm working on my Hayabusa. So for those of you who do not know, this is my 2005 Suzuki Hayabusa. It is pretty much stock with the exception of like an airbox mod and some exhaust work. Stock tune, I believe, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's got some small stuff, like it's got some levers, grips, all that kind of stuff. But in this video, I'm actually going to be going through the bike and preparing it for drag racing. I actually did race this bike already at the drag strip when it was an 1/8 mile day. I didn't actually get to make any 1/4 mile passes, but at least we have some data to go off of to see if we can improve the bike. I believe my best pass was like a 6.4 at 110 miles an hour with like a 1.65 60 foot, which you know, definitely has some room for improvement. So we're gonna start by you know, trying to improve this bike for drag racing. So I already removed the rear tire because I wanted to check out the gearing that is on the bike and kind of just make sure everything is good. This bike has an extended swing arm, or it has a swing arm extension. So this is just a plate that bolts onto the end of the swing arm, which just kind of extends where the rear axle goes. I don't exactly know how far of a stretch this is. I want to say it's like 6 inches or so. So yeah, that just bolts on right there. And to remove the wheel like I did, there's just a big old jam nut right here on the end of the axle, and then you kind of have to mess with the chain adjustments to move the wheel to get the chain off, and then once the chain's off. Okay, so anyways guys, like I was saying, I took the axle out to remove the wheel, and I got the wheel over here, and kind of just wanted to go over some basic bike stuff with you guys, considering I haven't really done anything on bikes on the channel. But I did order some new sprockets for this bike because currently it has the stock gearing, which is a 40 tooth rear sprocket and a 17 tooth front sprocket. So I actually ordered a 43 rear and a 16 front, so I'm actually going down 1 up 3, and that should allow the bike to accelerate harder and hopefully get a better 60 foot and overall a better 1/4 mile time. I also recently picked up these tires for the bike because my buddy with the Turbo Hayabusa is actually parting his bike out, and he had these tires laying around, and these are pretty much like a drag radial for a bike. These are the Shinko hookup tires. Super soft compound, great for drag racing, as it says, for drag. So I'm gonna get these tires thrown on once I get the sprockets for the bike. But for now, I kind of, like I said, just wanted to check everything over and do another modification, which is the purpose of this video. So these are called lowering links, and these are pretty much a piece of metal that goes where the, hang on one second. So these links right here will replace the links that are currently in the bike. I have a wrench on the one end right now. And these links will pretty much change the position of where the shock is. I believe that's what it does, or it kind of just makes the whole suspension limit itself in travel, so you're not going to have as much suspension travel, but in turn will lower the bike down, which for drag racing this is a good thing, and I personally think it looks really cool. I'm just removing the bolts that go through here. The links that are currently here are just like the factory ride height links, but there's a bolt that goes through the bottom of the link and a bolt that goes through the top of the link. So you pull those bolts out, the links will come out, and then you can install your new links, which these ones are adjustable. So the top hole here is going to be like factory height. This is going to be like, say, 1 inch lower, and this one's going to be like 2 inches lower or whatever. So we're just going to throw these on and see how low the bike is. Kind of sucks I didn't really have a comparison of how the bike was before, but I mean, you can look at the drag racing video of the Busa and kind of see how high the bike was and how high it's going to be now. Now this will kind of hinder the performance of the bike in corners or in like tight turns and stuff like that, but I didn't really intend for this bike to you know, be a cornering kind of bike. This is going to be a drag racing bike, and that's what I'm building it for. Okay guys, so I just got done installing the lowering links on the bike, and I failed to mention because I just kind of got carried away with working on it, but you do have to put a jack under where the lowering link goes, because if you don't have a jack there and you just pull the links out, the suspension will actually droop all the way down, and you won't be able to actually get the links on without jacking up on the shock here. So once you jack up on the shock, you kind of just position the jack for whatever hole you want on these links right here. And for my case, I actually went with the lowest setting on the lowering link, and I'm going to see how low it really is and go from there. It might be too low, it might be just right, we'll see. But like I said, these links are going to be like factory ride height, lower, and then like super low. So we're going with the super low setting, and we'll see where it takes us. But I had to remove this little fairing right here too. It was just 2 bolts. I just put it back on just now. So now we can get to reinstalling the tire. All right guys, here she is. I just got it all lowered and everything reinstalled. I got the chain tension set properly. They call for about 1 inch to 1.5 inch chain slack, and I got that all set up. I got everything torqued down. I made sure that the links are in the you know, same spot on both sides. I actually have to tighten this jam nut yet, but other than that, everything is looking awesome. The bike is actually more rideable than I thought it was going to be at the lowest setting. This is actually looking really awesome. So I could get some limiting straps for the front so I could actually get the front end lower, but I don't think I'm going to, because I kind of actually like how it is as is. My buddy does have a limiting strap kit, so that actually just compresses the forks in order to get the front end a little bit lower. But like I said, I may leave it for now until if I feel like I need it later, but I don't think I will. I also installed this drag seat. This is actually an aftermarket drag seat that I picked up from my buddy, and definitely it holds you in the seat a lot better than the factory seat, which is just like a flat piece of you know, cloth or whatever. Instead of having this little hump right here, this is like a drag hump or whatever you call it for the seat. Super comfortable, and definitely is going to hold me in the seat. All right guys, so we are out here riding on the Busa, and my girl's on the ZX636 here. But the Busa, definitely, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about how it rides comparatively between now that it's lowered. And it's definitely a little bit bumpier, but I mean, I can still lean this thing into the corners, and this exhaust is like a super low exhaust that hangs below the foot pegs, and I haven't scraped it yet. I've actually tried to push it to, you know, an uncomfortable spot where it's going to scrape, and I haven't been able to do that yet. So I feel like the way I ride this bike, I'll be all right, and no issues with the whole lowering thing. Other than that, the bike feels like way more planted, and when you get into the power, it definitely feels like you are way more planted as well. And with it being lower, it's going to be more stable at high speeds, etc. So yeah, that's where this video is going to end off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I do plan on getting a microphone and adapter for my GoPro, but unfortunately the frickin' adapter's 50 bucks and then a microphone's like 50 bucks, so I got to save up some money so I can get a microphone and an adapter for my GoPro. And once I have that, we can actually like go riding with you guys, and we won't have a bunch of wind noise and all that kind of stuff, and I can kind of just do moto vlogs, which I would like to try to do, and I've been wanting to do this pretty much since I started my channel. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and subscribe if you guys are new, and like the video. It definitely helps out. So yeah, till next time guys, have a good night.